Bluetooth connected.
Hey Tyraz, how's it going? Thank you. Daughter of Thantanos. Thank you. How's it going? Appreciate that very much. It's hot out here, Tyraz, and I'm kind of sick of it, but it's not going to go away anytime soon. What's up, Dan? Patrick? What you working on, Dan? Are you working on your Bikini Warrior Babe short story you're doing? Bikini Knife War page 2. Hell yeah. Tyraz, how many pages till the end? God, let me think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, maybe 15. Maybe 15 pages. Yeah, well, if you end up getting it, Tyraz, I hope you enjoy it. I don't know. I always stop myself when I want to say I'm proud of it, because I am. I don't want to sound too full of myself, but I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't think it was at least kind of worthwhile. So, And the upside to doing it that way is you get to read it all in one shot without having to like wait and space things out. Well, if you do end up getting it, I hope you enjoy it. I am actually really eager to hear people's opinions on the whole thing. So I kind of can't wait to get people's thoughts on it. I've actually thought about that, Chuck, a hardcover omnibus version. I don't know how well it would work if I were to try to print them up, like all of them, because it would be so huge. Like this thick with another one of these size. But I've absolutely thought about, because like the first 3 books are like one kind of self-contained story, so my plan is to like print up the first 3 as one collected volume, and then the last 3 as like a second, because my brother has helped me work on the first 3, and we've talked about doing that once everything's done, kind of remaster the pages a little bit, with like clean up some stuff or redraw a panel here or there that's just killing me, or correct some misspelled words. But I've thought about doing that. I think the investment would be quite a lot. So I don't know. It would might be worth it. Even doing like a foil cover with like the sword on the cover in like shiny foil. Omnibuses have 1,000-page, give or take. I'd have to see what the printing company that I've been using, the Comic Wellsprings, if they... I would assume they would make them that big. I don't know. But then I would just be worried about spending a lot of money to print these up and then not moving any of them. I don't know. It's certainly something I want to do, because there's a lot of like corrections I need to make in the first 3 where we kind of misspelled some words, and you know, there's a panel that I'm just dying to redraw because it's terrible, things like that. But once this is all done, that's on my want to do for sure. Yeah, or the owners hit me with the cease and desist, right? Yeah. They're like, hey, you can't make this shit. I've actually been kind of worried that that might come up at some point. But I'm like, I'm not selling it, so kiss my dick. I say that until they start yelling at me. Dan, if you ask me, finish your story and move on. No, that's true, but I would still kind of like to clean it up and make like a definitive, like cleaned up version. I don't want to spend much more time on it, but and just for the sake of like having one that's all collected into one, I've thought about it for years, ever since I've been working on this. Like if I get this done, wouldn't it be neat if? But who knows? You know, we'll see. We'll see. Hey Nate, oi! Yeah, I'm definitely ready to kind of be out of this story and onto something else, because it's like basically done. So I am leaving it in the rear view mirror. A collected version is a solid maybe. It's a definite perhaps. Youngblood reboot. I would actually really like to do something like that. That would actually be really fun. There's already been so many reboots of that thing anyway. I did have this idea of doing like my next thing that I wanted to do that I own is, you guys have probably heard me talk about it. I've mentioned it several times, is like these characters get kind of passed off into a alternate dimension where they look different but are basically the same character, so I can call them my own and do my own thing with them. And then I was going to have them be on this other world that they transport to that's filled with like Rob Liefeld-like characters, like characters that sort of look like Badrock and Shaft from Youngblood, and then have my characters just kill the shit out of them, just murder them to death. Like it's like my alternate versions of the Masters of the Universe characters just murdering the hell out of like Image Comics crappy characters. In my head, it sounds fun. It is kind of what I'm talking about, Tyraz. There is a part of me that's kind of like, that's kind of what that idea is. D-Man, you're too kind. I'm not that awesome, but... Never heard of a Suicide Squad anime, but I don't follow Suicide Squad anything anyway, so there's no reason I would have heard of it in the first place, most likely. But yeah, I want to have my altered versions of the Masters of the Universe characters end up on an alternate world that they're kind of foreign to, so it's like, you know, fish out of water characters who've kind of lost their memories and they're altered in form, but the world's being overrun by these super-powered monsters that are slaughtering the common man, and they're all like alternate versions of Extreme Studios characters, and even some Top Cow and Wildstorm characters. Like, there'd be an obvious, like, oh, that would be Maul, this is Stryker, this is Ripclaw, this is Spartan, that's Badrock, and that's Photon, but they'd be different enough that it's not a copyright thing. Oh, it just came out last week? Oh, I didn't know about that. Well, again, I guess they didn't promote the hell out of it because I haven't heard anything about it, but I'm also not looking for it because I don't give a shit. Hey, Nate, are you still in there? Are you in the chat listening, buddy? Oh, Nathan from Australia. Hey, Nate, did I see correctly? Did you posted up, it was a picture of Cable in the Discord, right? Was that your art? Was that yours or was that someone else's? I'm sorry, I saw it at a glance and I just kind of assumed it was yours. Am I remembering correctly? Was that your drawing? I don't remember when you did it. It was a picture of Cable, right? Like at a beach or something like that? No, I know you did Constantine, but maybe I saw it and I thought you posted it, but maybe it wasn't you. So forgive me if I mean, I saw your Constantine, yeah. But not one in the last day or two that you posted on the Discord. Okay, all right, man. Sorry, I thought I saw this thing and I thought it was you that posted it. Obviously I was wrong. I was like, was this yours? I got to pay more attention to my own Discord about who's doing what. No, it was a full body shot, the one that I saw that I'm talking about. Yeah, there's almost 60 of us in there, Chuck. Again, it's just people kind of sharing artwork back and forth and, you know. Okay, all right, yeah. No, I liked it. I thought it looked really good. But I also thought you posted it, and so I thought that it was your artwork, and I was like, holy shit, Nate, did you do this? No, Chuck, I didn't do Kara. I haven't seen a reason to yet. I know you kind of advocated for it, but I didn't want another social media to have to keep track of. If it kind of keeps going and stays relevant, and, you know, maybe in the future, but keeping up with the Instagram, the YouTube, the Facebook, the Discord, I can't keep up. No, I know, I get it. I get it. I agree with you. No, I know. I understand that, and I respect people's, you know, opinions on that. For sure. I feel like there's no getting around it, the AI thing. So I'm just gonna keep going. But maybe if more people did what you guys are all doing, then we'd all make an actual difference. And then there's those apathetic people like me that are not helping. I might be part of the problem, guys. Don't be part of the problem, be the whole problem. Good point, Chuck. I hear you. Do you want to hear this silly thing I'm going to do in this comic here related to this scene? I'm going to spoil it a little bit. I don't know. This is probably going to sound stupid. People probably tell me this is stupid and I should just not do it. But this is like in the previous page that I've already posted. Let me find it. It's not done, but they held a funeral for He-Man who died. And they made a big old monument to him, and a whole bunch of people showed up, and I still got to draw the first panel with the Royal Palace. So there's a monument to He-Man. But here, this is a silent, unmarked grave to Fisto, who did not survive the story. And so She-Ra buried his gauntlet under the ground and then placed this giant stone over it. And only she knows why this is a significant location for her and Fist. But and so it's going to be a text box where it's Trapjaw's inner dialogue, inner monologue, saying how that they had a unmarked grave, that She-Ra chose this spot specifically. No one knows why except her. And then I've got her holding this little torn up piece of paper. It's like, it's going to be like she reads from a poem that no one had ever heard of. And she reads it in a different language, that it's like a foreign language that she reads it in. And so the other characters are going to be like, what is this thing that she read? And then Trapjaw's going to have it later on, and it's going to be in this. Because one time I encoded the alphabet in high school, so I can write out phrases in this, like, encoded so you can't really read it. So I'm going to put this phrase that she read as like a eulogy to this warrior that's fallen, but no one's going to be able to read it, including the character Trapjaw, until someone else explains it to him later. But I was going to, like, at the end of the book, I was going to put like a little key to decipher it, so people could go back and write, okay, this shape is an A, this shape is a B, and then they can go back and see the handwritten note in this encoded language and read what the actual eulogy that she says is. And they're actually song lyrics. I'm not going to tell you what from. Some of you might think it's funny. Some of you might think it's the stupidest thing. But I was like, oh, it's like a little game you can play where you have to uncode this phrase that she read at Fist's eulogy. And I think the lyrics are kind of relevant to the character. Yes, Chuck, that is exactly it. That is why this spot is special to them. You know that. I knew you would, because you inked several of those pages. That tree right there, so she buried his glove there and put a giant stone on top of it and just left it unmarked. So they're all like, why does she want to bury his glove here in the forest next to this tree? Oh well, we're not going to fight her because she could literally kill us, so. I know, D-Man, but that's like, that makes it more special for the people who give a shit to decode it. And then the funny part will be is if people don't recognize the song lyrics, and or if they do, they'll be like, oh, and then they might be like, that's a stupid song. Or they might be like, that's an awesome song. I love it. But the song lyrics are about, I'll be vague about, like a warrior who is basically fighting to his last, and he's being chased and blamed for stuff that wasn't his fault. And he just asking a higher power for the ability to die with his head held high, kind of thing. But yeah, it'll be a decode. Oh, really, Chuck? Micronauts? I never even heard of that. I mean, I know what Micronauts are, but I didn't know that. So I thought I'd come up with something unique in my own little stupid way, which is still kind of true. But, and I'm not even going to tell people in there, hey, by the way, dear readers, if you want to know what was said on that piece of paper on page whatever that Trapjaw was reading, here, I'm just going to put it in there. I'm just going to put the key in the back of the book and then just let people go from there. Just thought it'd be a funny little thing to make it a little bit different. You don't know that, Dan Goodwin, or maybe you do. You like the unmarked grave at their special spot. Well, that's what I hope people who read it, like, I hope people have that same kind of understanding of it, because these characters, I built up their relationship through 3 volumes and tried to make it pay off, and hopefully it reads that way. And they only had their little short little moment really briefly before everything went to hell. And Shira had feelings for somebody for once and had it ripped away from her. I don't know. I hope it reads with the emotion that I intend for it. Fuck, fine, no, we'll see. There it is. Girls just want to have fun. That would just ruin it, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that be just... I don't know, maybe it'll be time after time. That's a little bit somber. Lying in my bed, clock ticks and I think of you. Something and something, something, nothing new. Something, 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 something. All right, I'll stop singing. Something, something, something. If you're lost and you're looking, you will find me. Time after time, Chuck Gibson. If you look for Dan Goodwin, you will find me. Mr. D-Man's the man. I said I'd stop singing, but then I just keep going. If my subscriber count goes down by a lot, I'll know why, guys. Get medicated and sing songs. I love singing songs in Eric Cartman's voice. Oh. What is that one he did on that stupid album? Sail Away. Come sail away, come sail away, come sail away with me, you guys. It sounds like a good time, Chuck. Next time you do that, hit me up. I'll be right over. I'll drive a few 100 miles. Yeah, D-Man, what's his name? Seahawk? Yeah, he got forgotten. Bo ain't shit. Bo should have thrown her a boner a long time ago. She's like, I want to go meet the guy with the giant metal gauntlet, and his name's Fisto. Let's see what's up with that. She found out. She's like, is that gauntlet motorized? I need to know. He's like, well, no, but I do know a technological wizard by the name of Trapjaw. If I could just tell him to add some shit to it. So later on, Trapjaw's like, why the fuck am I doing this? What the fuck do you need vibrating fingers for? So don't worry about it. Just give it 3 settings: low, medium, and who needs a man. He's like, you're fucked up. Anyway, it's done. I'm telling you, Chuck, I don't know if you remember, I mean, I'm sure you do, but I've said it, but you remember that thing we were talking about, how Jitsu, the Asian guy that chopped off the head of Beastman, he was walking around with that severed head, and I was like, Jitsu's the silent warrior, but the severed head will never die, so it's always talking. I keep coming up with like comedy scenarios of like a little comic strip of that little scenario where Jitsu's just hauling around the severed head, and it's that angry, pissed off Beastman that won't die, and just funny conversations that they have. I swear there's something there, and one of these days I want to do like a little joke comic strip on it. Throw it in the back of one of the collected editions, like a what if. Need the cool down spritz like shit. I know what you're talking about. The shake weight from South Park. And it dispenses a cooling burst of water and cab fare. Oh, man. Oh me, oh my. Oh dearie. It'll be like a curse spell that some evil wizard places on the characters so they all talk like New Yorkers, but no one knows it because they're on Eternia. It's like, oh me, oh my. The only one who recognizes it is Queen Marlena, you know, He-Man's mother, because she's from Earth. She's like, oh my God, I haven't heard that in decades. I want this goddamn tip. Hey, I'm doing a spell over here. Yeah, that is fair, Chuck. I do seem to rag on dialogue in comics, like when I hear frickin' Cannonball talking. He's like, I used my blast field to deflect it. It sounds like Cletus, the slack-jawed yokel. Yuck. Yeah, I wouldn't really do any of that anyway. I don't have the time for that, but the concept is funny. Maybe when I get rich and famous and I'll open up my own studio and I'll hire a bunch of people to draw all my own stupid ideas, and then it'll burn out in 6 months and people will be like, that was a stupid idea, but he produced a bunch of stupid shit. Well, I was thinking like Liefeld, but it's like all of them, right? Yeah, it's only fun for the creative team. Readers don't get it. Yeah, you're 100% right. They all kind of did the same thing. But some studios made better shit than others. We won't name names, but we know that Wildstorm and Top Cow produced better things. Sorta. I got a whole pile of Alan Moore Supremes to go through and talk about on the channel. I actually can't wait to do that because that shit that he wrote was so wildly entertaining. It's like I got like 5 or 6 new issues I found online. So, in fact, I found the whole run, but somebody else had already picked them up. I'm like, oh, damn it. Yeah, that is true. People like the same. I want the same thing, just different. Yeah. Why do comics keep recycling old ideas? They always recycle old ideas? Yeah. I'll admit I probably fall into that category where, like I was saying, how I looked at some of the covers and some of the interior art pages of some of the recent X-Men books, and it's like, I love the X-Men, man. I grew up reading them. They were my childhood favorites, and I look at them, I'm like, I don't want to read this because this doesn't look like anything I recognize. So that's me being kind of closed-minded about it. But I kind of made up my mind about corporate comics a long time ago. You can't really change them, but then I also maybe don't want them to change. I want the same but new. So I'm like, just let it go. Let them be whatever they are. Go find something else. Maybe make something that would be interesting. So maybe I'm part of the problem. Yeah, Chuck, I agree. Yeah, you say a friend of yours, there was a long-time collector, told me you don't nearly need to read a title more than 5 years, or read more than 5 years worth of a title, because it just starts to repeat. That was my problem, because I'm like, I was reading, like, I'll just go back to the X-Men thing. I'm like, I watched these characters grow. I watched this villain change. I watched this hero go through this, emergence of new understanding. And then you get to read that version of that character for a long time, but then that creative team leaves and someone else comes along and they just hit the reset button. I'm like, this wouldn't make any sense with the character that I knew. It's just, why would they start over? It's that, corporate characters, they can't grow and change beyond, like, they were young and now they're old, but they have to stay that same version. So I was like, well, I guess I can't read these comics anymore, because hey, Gindo the Dragon, thanks for liking that boulder. It is thicked up. Chuck, the problem is the current crop of fans didn't move on to other stuff, and the new crowd didn't move into place, so now they just complained they've seen all this stuff before. Yeah, I don't know what the answer is. I don't know. The only thing that makes me want to go back and read a Marvel comic is when it's an out of current continuity. We were just having this conversation where some artist, some writer, somebody is just going to make a new thing, which is what looks like the new Great Capullo thing is. Because Wolverine doesn't have like laser claws or whatever the fuck. So if that's what it is, that's what will make me pick that up. If it's just like a out of continuity, what if Elseworlds, you know, classic version of all the characters. All right, you got me. Let's go. Let's do it. Hi, Grace, the cosplayer. Thank you for gracing us with your presence. I'm getting lost in the weeds. I'm drawing this goddamn grassy texture, but now that I've started... That's really sad to think of, isn't it, Chuck? Yeah, it kind of feels that way, Chuck. I mean, there's been one or two little things here and there that I'm like, oh, I'm interested in that. But overall, it's just like, does anybody care anymore? It's just not the same. Grace, you accidentally pierced your ear. It was a whole thing. How do you accidentally do that? Did you fall on a stapler or something like that? And Grace is out. All right. Yeah, that sounds about right there, Chuck. I'm all for writers, right? Goddamn, can't they make them visually interesting? You show up for the art, you stay for the story. Isn't that the idea? I think one of the problems, and I guess I get why they do it, but you remember when comic books just used to be a thing that were relatively inexpensive, cheap to produce, and they just let writers just write stories, just start going. And so they could just write years worth of stuff without worrying about crossovers, without worrying about big events. And so comics would just be just issues upon issues upon issues of just stories from one writer and one artist or a couple artists over a couple years. And they just got to just make them. Just kind of disposable entertainment. Just run wild. But everything has to be an event. Like the shocking new revelation. Stay tuned for the new 12-issue limited maxi series. It's the new lineup of the team. It's like, fucking stop. All it is big event stuff. No one's just making comics for the fun of just making stories. When writers had the freedom to just write shit, They're like, here, Frank Miller, take over Daredevil. It's not doing great. Just make it a thing. And boy, did he make it a thing. Here, Chris Claremont, no one's really paying attention to X-Men, really. Do whatever. All right, I'll make the iconic versions of them for all time. Here, random writer, turn Captain America into a werewolf. Oh, wait, hold up. Wait a minute. Can you imagine Cap Wolf in a movie? That would be so awesome. No, I have never seen the Byrne run on Fantastic Four. I understand it's really good. It's all about finding like an affordable collection of it or something. Didn't he leave X-Men to go do Fantastic Four? That stuff's out there. It's just drawn in manga on webtoons. Oh, puke. Yeah, talk me out of it. Omnibus books are the best option. Hey, okay, comics, what's up? He left X-Men over that scene of Colossus pulling the tree out of the ground. What? Which version of that? There was that Paul Smith run. I'm trying to think of a scene where Colossus is pulling a tree out of the ground. I know two. One was a backup story in a classic X-Men that Jim Lee drew, and then there was the one where, God, I'm trying to remember. Somebody remind me. I know I've seen that. I'm really interested about that story. I didn't know. That doesn't sound familiar to me. Colossus pulling the tree out of the ground. I remember there being one where Colossus was kind of depressed. No. I was thinking of Colossus being depressed and Wolverine had to talk him out of it, but that was a Danger Room scene, right? Where Colossus was about to get smashed and Wolverine's like, well, I'll crawl in here and if you're not going to stop it, then I'll die. Oh, it's the second part of the Wolverine story. So in the next issue of the classic X-Men, which I don't think I actually have. Son of a bitch. I might. I don't know. I have to go digging. I don't know if I have that. I'm going to have to seek it out now. You got me really hyper interested. Uncanny 140. I'm going to look that up. Yeah, I get your point, Antoine. Manga interests me so little unless it's just the most astounding artwork ever, which some of it is, but... Why is there this random issue written on the back? What's the point of that, right? Several of my pages do have random ass sketches all over them on the backs. Hey, Kevin B. Hall. Well, don't worry, D-Man. I'm about to draw the scene where she goes and gets this all healed up and taken care of. She's too sad and depressed to think about anything at this point, so she kind of lives with it for several days. God, I'm sick of filling in this goddamn ground. This is where digital background art would help, right, Chuck? Filling in this goddamn grassy texture. It's just basically squiggly lines. It's implied detail just to give the indication of texture. Byrne has Colossus pull the tree out of the ground very easily, but the Claremont captions make it into some real struggle. That was the struggle they were having. I understand those two, I don't want to say didn't get along, but my understanding was that Byrne felt like his contributions to the story were not being recognized because he was actively, you know, contributing in a major way. And he had a vision. I want to get copies of those, like, that John Byrne penciled continued X-Men story stuff. I want to read those. As a result, Byrne felt like the way he thought of the character was totally different than Claremont's vision. It's over on the, and that penciled version's on the website. Yeah, I'll probably have to go check it out. I just watched the kayfabe guys go through them, and God, does John Byrne know how to pencil a comic book. It doesn't feel like he's lost any steps in his abilities in his old age. Well, thanks, Kevin. I'm trying to make these things look as good as I can do it, because I have some panels where I really fuck up. So I'm like, well, I screwed that one up. I better make something else look visually interesting before people call me out for my hack bullshit. Chuck, you say he has. You see it in spots, but even Byrne at 85% kicks wholesale ass on anything currently offered. That's awesome. Burning the candle at both ends. Yeah, I remember reading about that, where Byrne liked Jane and didn't want to see her die at the end of the Phoenix. I get John Byrne's point, and who knows if the stories could have been good, but I feel like Jean Grey dying at the end is the best possible outcome in terms of dramatic, I mean, the drama of the story. But I can only see it that way because that's all I've ever known. I can't imagine where she just lived and kind of got off scot-free. Scott. I don't know. It might have worked, but it's not like she stayed dead for long. So, Chuck, are you saying that the scene of Jean Grey as Dark Phoenix consuming the star and blowing up the planet wasn't originally a Claremont concept? Or was that something that John Byrne, he put in there? They hate Byrne at Marvel because he made it look easy when they all struggled to put out shit. That's funny. God damn. Where's me boat? I would have thought that that entire Phoenix story would have been like laid out so specifically. That's interesting. On a whim, Byrne had her eat that star. The aliens died, and as a result, Shooter decided that at that point she crossed the line and was no longer a hero and had to go like any other villain. That's interesting because, like I was saying, I feel like, I mean, it is maybe the defining point of the story where she goes that far, and that if that's how it was, where it was just kind of like something that Byrne kind of threw in there, which changed everything. It's crazy because that's one of the best points of the story, I think. Hey, Jella. Yeah, they did a pretty faithful adaptation of it in that 90s X-Men cartoon. It was pretty good. Like, there were some parts where it was word for word for the comics. Like, word for word. I liked it. Well, I skimp in plenty of other places, D-man, so I just, like I said, sometimes I feel like I really got to put forth that effort to counterbalance the bullshit I pull elsewhere. Grant, how you doing? Oh, I know what it's like to be busy, Grant, believe me. I think outside of erasing some pencil and some touch-up, I think I finished this one. Sozen Ahmed. I wish I could read what you wrote, but hello. I don't read squiggle. Jesus Christ. Oh, it's going to be in my head forever now. Squiggle. I kind of wish I did. I wish I could say I could actually read any other language. Like, I could sound out the words in Spanish, but I don't know what I'm saying, but still got a little bit to go. You still got what, 29 days, Grant? Did I just see that? I think I looked it up today. No, please, Grant, show up and promote it. Like, we're all trying to support people making shit. 100%. You don't offend me at all, brother. Show up and ask people to check out your Kickstarter. Get anything out of it that you can. I happen to be fluent in squiggle. So my girlfriend said, if I had one. Alright, well, I'm going to set this page aside because I'm not going to put an eraser on it because there's wet ink on it, and I want to do a live video of me streaking ink across my page. Yeah, I know. If I had someone saying here, we could have them post a link, but oh my God, look, the greatest comic book ever made, Donna Matrix. Y'all love that? I loved it. It's the greatest comic ever made. Set that toilet paper aside. See, Chuck, I found myself, and maybe it's just nostalgia, I was kind of enjoying the story that was theoretically set up in X-Force. I liked where it was going. It didn't actually go anywhere, but the idea kept me interested. I know upon retrospect it's not quite there, but, and by not quite, I mean not at all. Yeah, some cyberpunk shit, kind of. Yeah. That's what this is. And I did enjoy quite a lot Rejects that Liefeld drew and Jeff Loeb wrote. There's only like one issue. Now I gotta download some of my reference pictures I took so I can draw this page. No, Rejects was done long before that Kirkman one. What was that Kirkman one called? Still terrible. Yeah, you're not wrong, Kevin. It is kind of ridiculous, but just a horrible mess waiting to happen. All right, Chuck. I'll catch you later. Dan, gotta run. Catch you later. Thanks, guys. Thanks for stopping in. As always. All right, Tyrad, you're out of here. Thank you, Josh. Yeah, it is warm over here. Sketchy McSketchy. Those pages aren't going to get drawn by themselves. You're right. That's why I did just finish this one, minus erasing and, pen cleanup. So time to start the next one. Josh, where are you at? What's your winter like? Because here in Utah, we get some pretty bad ones. Just depends, of course. See, this one I'm doing, this girl, like this page is upside down. This girl is falling into, this is the She-Ra character, she's falling into this water. So, and there's going to be a bunch of bubbles everywhere. She's going to be undressed. I'm going to have to anatomically decide how I'm going to cover it up. Not that I've got nudity in my comic, but I don't want to make it graphic. But she's descending into these healing waters. Well, thanks for checking in, El Guapo Comics. I appreciate it, as always. Oh, yeah. You probably shouldn't have mentioned that to me, because now I'm going to be like inclined to go look it up to find a better way to draw this. Which I won't do. I'm kind of just kidding, but if I would have thought of it at first. I know there's like a art book out there with like conceptual drawings from those animators. I watched the cartoonist kayfabe guys go over it. I'm like, God damn, that stuff looks so good. Oh, how these guys, those animators, are just so skilled. Josh, we have 2 Australians here. Oi! Yeah, those guys are masters. Yeah, it's crazy how good those guys actually are. Like, no joke. Kind of drawing a female crotch upshot in a way I've never, ever drawn before, because I don't draw like gratuitous shit, but I got to get the anatomy right before I move forward. I've seen your name in here before, Josh, right? You have to forgive me, there's so many people that stop in, I sometimes forget who's been around and who hasn't. Gotta say, having reference for this is helping. Even if it's not, I'm not drawing it like line for line, shape for shape, but just seeing anatomy to reference from is already making a huge difference. That's why it's fun to have hot muscle girlfriends come over and part model for you. Yeah, He-Man's gone. He didn't make it. You got to make it to the healing waters for them to actually work. And you're right there, Kevin B. Hall. In the story, it's going to list that she stays in here for like a week. Like she doesn't emerge from these healing waters for days and days. They are magic, so therefore I can make it bullshit and do whatever I want. People were putting butter on their Byrnes. Butter on my Byrnes. That sounds weird and gross and, well, weird and gross. I was having this thought. I wanted to take some of my favorite Liefeld drawings and just trace them and just remove all the clothing just so we could see what that nude figure would look like and just laugh. When you remove the belts and the swords and shit and she looks like a stumpy mannequin, like goblin creature thing. I don't know how to draw boobs from this angle. Like this low angle, so I am kind of faking this part. Where's Frank Cho when you need him? I should do that. I should go to a strip club and be like, hey, girls, I'm an actual comic artist. I mean, I'm not professional or anything, but I need to reference naked girls lying on the ground, undressed, with their stuff just available to see. They're like, all right, baby, how much you paying? I'm like, I got $20. What will $20 get me? And they're like, nothing, get out. I'm like, all right, well, I shot my load. I took my shot. Guys, advice. I've got her sinking into water. Should I leave the illustration itself with a white background and just have the figure and the bubbles? Or should I make the water represented as like black? Should I have the background black with the figure and then white bubbles in it? Would it be better in a black and white comic to have the water that she's sinking into be black, or leave it open in like with a white background? Because I've done this kind of image once before where I had merman sinking into water, drowning, and shot, and I left it open. But I'm wondering if in this case, if it would be better to have it dark, like black. You think black with white stuff? You just said D-Man's favorite words. Well, it is a magical, bottomless, like abstract-y dimension world that you go into when you step into this water. It's not just a swimming pool, but I don't know. If it would be colored, it would be a lot easier to kind of decide how to do this. Black because there's no color. I might do that. I was originally just going to leave it open. Like, I got my books right here. Fuck it, I'll show you. Where the hell did I put them? See, oh, look, see? Look. In my comic where Teela and He-Man get together, they're in the healing waters. This is where He-Man, all right, context. This is the chamber inside Grayskull. It's a giant lion's head with a waterfall. This is where Teela has taken burned, charbroiled He-Man to heal. He steps in there and he comes out all healed up. And then Teela comes in there. She removes her clothes. She tells him that she loves him. She's always loved him. They've always been meant to be together, so she kisses him. Then I have a shot where she's standing like, I have full-on frontal nudity in my comic, guys. Look at that right there. But that's not what we're not here for. We're not here to watch He-Man and Teela get it on, but it's right there. Right? Kevin B. Hull, that's right. But we get to the end of this. And I do have the wrap up with Trapjaw. And yeah, it is Firecrotch. And Merman. But Trapjaw, he's like, hey, I'm done with the bad guy world. Get fucked. Leave me alone. And so Merman says, you're a coward. You've given up. I'll be back for you. And Trapjaw doesn't take kindly to that, so he transforms his arms into a gun and blows away Merman. And then I just have this shot with like 3 panels of like the bubbles are making the panel. And then you see this shot here. This is when I have Merman with a giant hole in his chest just descending into the water. And I left it open white like that, which is how I was going to do this one. But maybe it would be a good variety to have it blackened in. That was the end of Merman. There's He-Man doing his thing. Look, digital backgrounds. Before I met Chuck. Merman never turned over a new leaf. Trapjaw's trying to. Merman just showed up and tried to, like, hey, we should go be evil again. Skeletor's gone. We could take over. And Trapjaw's like, man, go fuck yourself. I am done with that. I got King Randor giving a speech to his son. I was thinking of my father speaking to me. I tried to make it poignant. This is the scene where He-Man gives up Cringer. He sends Cringer to go home with Lion-O to live with the Thundercats because He-Man's like, I can't take care of you anymore. Go with the Thundercats. And so he does. And so Cringer lives out his days on Thundera. I mean, that's book 3. So yeah, I think I'll make the backgrounds black. It'll make it a bigger pain in the ass to draw, but... And I'm not sure how to cover up their close-up of her snizzatch here. I kind of like the way I drew it anatomically, but... Well, that story point, Kevin, I've mentioned that my brother has helped me do big chunks of this, and he did the main chunks of the Thundercat story, and so I consulted with him. I'm like, we got to wrap up the He-Man Battle Cat relationship. So what should we do? And he's like, we both debate who come up with the idea. I think I did. He thinks he did. It's fine. He probably did. But he's like, we should have, since He-Man's this burned, scarred monster at that point in the story, Cringer is scared of him, and He-Man can't take care of him. So once the battle between Lion-O and He-Man was over, and they kind of made amends, He-Man says, I need a favor. Before you go back to, your home, I need you to take my giant talking kitty with you. He needs to be somewhere where he can be cared for. And Lion-O's like, shit, yeah, we'll take a giant talking kitty. Are you kidding? This is perfect for us. Just spoiling the shit out of my comic for everybody, but that's okay. Kevin Spacey, what the hell are you talking about? cat planet with cat people. He's dead? No, it's an actual... It's actually just Earth, but Thundercats kind of colonized it. The colonizers. It's a racist story. Alright, next one. D-Man, you got a tornado warning? Where you live? I hope you get whisked away to the magical land of Oz. And come back and learn that you always had the power within inside you all along. You can sue Al Gore for this. You're right. Actually, Oz is not so much a kingdom, but pretends to be a constitutional republic with hints of despotism and blah, blah, blah nerd government shit. You know what I've always wondered? Is like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't like the Midwest and the United States here like the tornado capital of the planet, right? Like Tornado Alley, and, you know, correct me if I'm wrong. But I've always wondered what, like, Native American cultures thought tornadoes were. Like, we understand what they are scientifically, but, you know, we know what these, for lack of a better word, I mean, you know, like, primitive cultures, you know, that don't understand the science of what, you know, atmospherics really are. But, like, what would Native American cultures, for example, in the plains, when a tornado happens, what would they have thought that they were? You know, I know they don't really keep a written record of anything that I'm aware of. I've just always wondered, does that make sense? Our metropolis will last 1,000 years. What the fuck is... It's the finger of God. It's the finger of Manitou. Try being Pompeii. Gatto Destructo, Destruction Cat, how's it going? You are correct. You have found a live art stream. I'm streaming my stuff all over the place here. Kick David nuts 3 times. Keep kicking him in the nuts until the storm stops. Went to Farmer's Markup, hit up the mall, got some drawing books. Well, there you go. That sounds like a good day. I did some yard work, which sucked because the neighborhood's going to come checking out all around our houses to make sure we're keeping our shit tight. So I had to make my outside of my house look great. Hated the 100-degree weather. Let's build our town here. Oh, there's a volcano. Nah, it'll be fine. Official Sea of Thieves cookbook. I have no idea what that it is, but I'm interested. In fact, I got a hose watering one of my big giant bushes out in my front yard. I got to go move it to another area with other bushes. God of escrow, please sign. Oh my God, dude, you're so funny. Oh, it's a multiplayer pirate game. All right. Well, that sounds funner than what I thought it was. Whew. It feels like burning. Ralph Wiggum say that? No, he said it tastes like burning. Trying to remember Gato Destructo. What was the... I know that line, I can hear it in my head, but I'm like trying to remember what the hell was going on in that episode that Ralph said that. It tastes like burning. Now I'm like, oh, what the hell was that? You got sirens going? D-Man, really? Like, really? Oh, Kevin, that sounds right. They were lost on an island and he tasted some berries. That does sound correct. The sirens scare away the tornadoes. Science. That was, you searched it up? Awesome. think you're kind of right, Josh. Memories where we were forced to use our memories all the time. Yeah, it's going to be high 90s for me all week, D-man. Spending it with my kids, and I've got the air conditioner on freaking 24 hours a day. I can just feel the money evaporating from my checkbook for the power bill. Let's see the forecast. Hey, it's got down to 87 now. Thank Christ. Yeah, look at that. That's Utah here, 90s. So low to mid 90s, some high 90s. Might as well just be 100. Puke. 111 in Phoenix? Hell with that. People talk about why would anybody settle where there are tornadoes? Why would anybody settle where the temperature is always a few degrees cooler than hell? Jesus, have I been going longer than 2 hours already? This time has flown by this time. So glad I don't have to go to work tomorrow. Normally I'd have to be going to bed, but I'm on vacation. You gotta look for work? Go work at Home Depot like me. You'll love it. Be all about customer service. People walk in, they're like, y'all know where that thing is? That thing that you use when you're doing that thing, and you're like, I don't know what you're talking about. And they'll be like, y'all don't know shit. I'm going to Lowe's. I'm like, okay. Will do. Donkey. Well, you can see my conceptual sketches right there for this page I just drew. I actually skipped a page. I need to start drawing this one first, but that was my thumbnail for these pages, and now you can see the mostly the end result ish. Yeah. There's one more murder to draw. Oh, I get to draw the page where Jitsu throws Beastman's severed body into a bottomless pit. That'll be fun. Holy shit, it says there's 68 people watching right now. How the hell did that happen? How can I screw 76? Holy shit. I know that'll pipe down real quick. Maybe it's because there's nude female figures on screen. What the fuck? 76. I gotta make sure I capture that. I'm gonna screenshot that. Holy shit. Now it's down to 69. That's my favorite number. Sounds fun till you try it, and then you find out it is actually that fun. Groot Galvin, how's it going? God, it's up to 79. Is it because I've got naked female figures on the screen that there's so many people that stopping by? I mean, it's not like it's gratuitous, but good Lord. Welcome, everybody. This is how I get my subscriber count up. You trying to tell me when I'm drawing a panel of just a bunch of people standing around in a grassy forest staring at a rock, it's less interesting than undressed girl floating in a pool? Dude. Arthur Morgan. I love Arthur Morgan. Lenny. Well, I'm going to be inking this page tomorrow. I don't have the energy to ink it tonight. I've been already drawn for like 2.5 hours. And I spent all my day drawing this thing. But it will go up on my Instagram soon enough. Thanks, Groot. That's true, D-Man. That video of mine that I did of his art book is up to like 52,000 views and still demonetized because boobs. Really frustrating. Call me shallow, but I want cash for my videos. I want that ad revenue. My damn pencil go. I actually kind of can't wait to ink this. This is going to be fun. I think there's fun anatomy I got going on here. Bubbles and water. It'll be a pain in the ass to ink. I might have to ask Chuck to put in a black background. I might actually do that. Well, funny you mentioned that, D-Man. I do have kind of a vague idea. If you've been following my story as I've kind of put it out here, you know, he's dead. But certain characters have been resurrected from the afterlife, like Evil Lynn, Beastman was. And so the newly, you know, reimagined Evil Lynn, she actually tries to go in and I was going to draw this scene, but I actually decided to leave it out of the comic. She's going to try and go into that afterlife world, the void, where you can bring back these souls and bring back Fist. And he's going to ignore it because Fist knows that his time has come and the natural way is to die and move on. But in the same sense, in the comic I've talked about, where I'm going to take these characters and have them years after this takes place, they're going to go through a portal and get transformed in body and mind and emerge onto another world. I'm going to have it where after they traveled to that other world and were gone for years, Sorceress Tila followed them trying to find them, and she got lost just the same as them on the same world, reborn as like a bird creature. And He-Man is reborn, but he's like mentally screwed up, and whenever he looks in a mirror or a reflection, he sees that burned version of himself that Skeletor did to him. And so he's like this maddened warrior who's out raging around the countryside, just killing everything, because all he sees is that burned, charred version of himself in a mirror. And that's when his sister ends up finding him, and they have to conflict again, where they're actually enemies. No, Kevin, that's just a bullshit source thing that I come up with to bring someone back from the dead. I just fabricated this thing. You could call it plot convenience, which equals comic suck, when you're not wrong. But this magical healing water pool thing, but I'm like, these magicians with all this great power would have something like this. Somebody could. That's my way to get everyone to heal. But, you know, we had Shadow Weaver go into this. I even have her describe it. Let me, yeah, that was not in the show. That is for sure. Oh shit, it's in book 5. That's book 4. Yeah, no Prince Adam. Right. Yeah, I have Sorceress Tila kind of explaining it. She says magic is not something that can be explained in any rational sense. Some of it you can see, but much of it must be felt. Only then can you begin to control it. One of the most frightening aspects of magic is the exploration of the afterlife, the space between time and space. A space that can be accessed by the bleed separating the here from there. It is vast beyond belief and smaller than the distance between atoms. The void. It is there where, with the right knowledge, one can reach into the other side and pull a soul from one world to the other. So that was my bullshit explanation for it. And I'm going to have Sorceress Tila maybe do that. But that's a whole other thing in a whole other universe. Yeah, it's a little bit much for a show aimed at kids, like the tether, or you meant the ether, or the tether? Is that what you actually meant? I don't know. Again, just bullshit excuses on my part. Right? Hey kids, in today's episode, an evil witch traveled into the afterlife to retrieve a soul from the land of the dead. We learned that coming back from the dead is not that easy. Once you're dead, dead is dead. And if you're a good person, you go to a shining, bright place with vast green fields and a great forest. And if you're a bad person, you go to a place called Extreme Studios, where everyone grits their teeth. It looks like they're shitting their pants, and they're led by the demon Liefeld. Remember, kids, don't go to the afterlife where Liefeld will ruin your life. Until next time. Kids are crying like, Mommy, what did they mean? Is it real? Is the demon Liefeld real? You know, Kevin Hall, I am aware of that last episode of that Dinosaurs, that like live action show with people. And like, wasn't it like the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs was on its way down to kill them all? And it was something like they were just waiting to get smashed. Existential dread. It's kind of really. I remember watching that show, but never really liking it. It was a little bit too weird for me, so I didn't stick with it for too long. But now you got me interested to kind of go back and watch it. Is it kind of like that last episode of Alf where he was like trapped by government people and like they were going to haul him away and we never get to see how that gets worked out? Everyone remember Alf? I used to love that show. They created an ecological disaster and all froze to death? Really? In that dinosaur show? All right, I'm going to have to go look that up. You've piqued my interest 100%, man. It was the protagonist's fault. It was they made it happen. Oh man. All right, once I get off here, I'm going to get off on camera. You guys are going to listen. Kevin B. Hall, that's brilliant. Rob Afterlifefeld? Dude, that's funny. God damn, you're a funny motherfucker. Rob Afterlifefeld. The demon Liefeld. That is funny. MG3 Animator, hello. The Afterlifefeld. Oh, D-Man, we got to remember that. We got to use that shit. We got to remember that for future funny. That phrase turns up in one of my videos, Kevin. You know where it comes from. The Afterlifefeld. Well, thanks, MG3 Animator. Kind of digging this beat. Absolutely, Kevin. It's a deal. Kerblagooby. I've read some Hellboy. I haven't read all of them. I really am only interested in the stuff Mignola draws. So I've read some of those. I've got the collection of the Seed of Destruction, I think it is, and I've got the Hellboy in Hell, which was really good. So I know some of it. The afterlife feld, where bad comic artists go to draw bad feet, well, no feet and pouches for eternity. No, D-Man, I didn't watch it because I'm so disillusioned with... I don't know, they're doing Hellboy right. The still shot I saw didn't look good. I need to check it out just to see if it's as bad as some people have said. But no, I haven't seen it. The life-felt ghosts of, like, the ghosts of comic past, present, and future. So the ghost of comics past would be Hawk and Dove, and then the ghosts of present would have to be like Cable, Deadpool, and the ghosts of the future would be fucking stupid Last Blood bullshit that sucks. I know Mignola's producing it, but wasn't he involved in all of them? Everyone loves the Guillermo ones, and I thought they were just okay. And I never saw the random-ass other one with Stranger Things guy, because I heard it sucked shit. I don't know. They really keep trying to make Hellboy work, and this is their third attempt. I don't know. If you don't make this one work, it's done, man. The quantum pouch. That's great. Well, guys, I've actually been really enjoying this, and the time has kind of flown by, but I think I'm going to wrap it up for tonight. D-Man, my friend Bobby, you know, the hot girl Bobby that you've seen the pictures in my... sitting with me at convention. She's going to come over Tuesday, and we're going to do some kind of video review of something together. I don't know what, but she's going to guest star on the channel, so I know you'll like that. Stop trying to make Hellboy a thing. It's not going to happen. Oh, man. But yeah, guys, I'm going to call it a night. I'm going to go check on my boys. As I always say I do, I have to make sure they know that Daddy's still here. They can't be watching pornography on the TV in the living room. But this was fun, guys. So anyone who's still in here, D-Man, Kerblagooby, Kevin B. Hall, Hellboy should be animated, but it should be like Japanese anime style, not this like crappy American slick shit. Because it did some Hellboy animated stuff, but it, I don't think it looked very good. LK Zone? What do you mean, what the hell? What the hell, what the hell? What's your problem, what the hell? It's a live stream drawing. But yeah, Kevin, thanks for joining up. D-Man. Gooby. 64 people who say they're in here. M3G Animator. Thanks, Josh. Appreciate it.